I can feel the energy in this room, and it's pretty spectacular. I want to say good morning to everyone, to our students, teachers and staff, all of our visitors, and especially to our guest of honor behind me. This morning, we're going to begin our program with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the singing of the Star Spangled Banner. Students, here's what I need from you. Please, if you have a flag, lower it. Stand up. We're now going to begin the Pledge of Allegiance. Yes. I need the honor guard with our flag. Just making sure we're all awake. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain. Stay standing. Please be seated. You may have a seat, boys and girls. So, as I stated, welcome to our second annual Veterans Day celebration. It is an honor to have so many veterans here with us today. To our veterans, you are our true example of what it means to serve our country and our community. Our program will be brief, but we truly hope it will be meaningful, as we wish to thank you and honor all of you, our special guests. To begin our program, I'd like to welcome someone who is very familiar to our Lower Gwynedd community, but what some students may not know is he's also a veteran. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Scott Williamson, our art teacher, to join me. Mr. Williamson. Mr. Williamson was a member of the Pennsylvania Army National Guard, and I'm very honored and grateful to have him speak to all of us this morning.
Good morning, everybody. It's so nice to see everybody all at once, all in the same spot. Too bad we couldn't do this for our class. To all of our guests, I first want to thank, of course, all the teachers and everybody who's involved in this for making this possible. Specifically for Mrs. O'Brien. Where is she? Mrs. O'Brien, can you give a round of applause for her? She put all this together. It's really wonderful. And of course, for Ms. West, for allowing time and effort to be spent on such an observation. It's just really important for you guys to see and hear this. And of course, most importantly, is all of our esteemed guests for honoring us by attending today. So can we give them a hand too? I'll start by saying how Veterans Day to me each year, whenever I'm asked to speak about it or talk about it, I feel that I should be the one saying thank you instead of other people saying it to me. And I see that for both the opportunities and the honor that I've had in serving the greatest military and the greatest country on earth. With saying that, a little bit about my career I started out in the military, right out of high school, where I joined the Pennsylvania Army National Guard. I chose this branch specifically because it was a perfect opportunity for me to serve my country, but still allow me to go to college, which was really important. I stayed in the military for almost 12 years, traveling through many states, many countries, and learning many different things about both the military's culture and some of the world's culture as well. I served both as an enlisted member and an officer in a variety of capacities in the military, which included a tour in Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom. I have seen and heard many things throughout my travels. However, I'm still very humbled by all the potential that I see in front of me through each of you. I'm humbled at the possibility of how much each of you can change the world to be a better place, in any capacity. And this is where I offer my thanks to you. I can't express to you how much I appreciate all of you for thinking about our veterans and celebrating all their hard work and sacrifice that they give in each day. Veterans are the few that sacrifice so much for the many, but it's not something that's looked upon for any kind of recognition or profitability. They do this on their own. It's looked upon as a calling for duty, honor, and country. All is our own choice made by our own free will to participate and make this country and all of our fellow Americans absolutely great. If you can remember just one thing from today, just one, even though I want you to remember a whole lot more, I ask that you remember that every single day is a gift. And for all the people that you know and the people who love you, like your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, aunts, guardians, friends, teachers, neighbors, community members, and even the military members who put on their uniforms and equipment every day, remember this: they do what they can, when they can, and how they can, in order to make your life better and for the many future generations to come. Thank you so much for honoring all of us up here today.
Thank you, Mr. Williamson, again for your service to our country and certainly to all of us here at Lower Gwynedd. This morning, we celebrate and appreciate all men and women who have served as a member of one of our branches of the military: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. Today, we are especially honored to have men and women with us who have worked tirelessly to protect our country and are members of our Lower Gwynedd school community. We are grateful that you've joined us today to share your experiences with each of us. You have all served our country. You have all kept our country safe for us to be able to go to school, to learn, to play, to work. The work that you have done, and in some cases continue to do, allows us to learn freely and safely. As a school community, we would like to recognize each one of you individually. So at this time, I will introduce each one of our service members. This will be done in order of the grade levels in which you visited this morning. I would ask that our students and staff please hold your applause until all of our guests have been introduced. I would ask each veteran in mind to please just give a quick wave to our school community. Beginning with those who started their visitation in kindergarten: Mr. Kevin Flynn, Mr. Thomas Harrison, Mr. Andy Evers, Mr. Peter Chung, Mr. John Joyce, Mr. Gary Weller, Mr. Ezio Piccone, Mr. Richard McCarty, Mr. Stephen Minnis. These were our veterans who visited our kindergarten classes first today. Next, visiting grade 1 and understanding that some of our guests had 2 or 3 sites to visit, I believe, today. Mr. Joe Honeycutt, Mr. Fred Kehoe, Mr. Nick Frank, Mr. Chris Stomsky, Mr. Michael Frankenfield, Mr. James McHugh. Those were our visitors to grade 1 today. Visiting grade 2, Mr. Fred Campbell, Mr. Harvey Roth, Mr. Lewis Butts, Mr. Peter Moore, Mr. Andy Carter, Mr. Michael Tracy, Mr. Jim Schneider, Mr. Alan Dowden, Mr. Rich Cameron, Mr. John Williamson, and Miss Linda Richmond, visiting our 2nd grade today. Visitors to grade 3, Mr. Stephen Love, Mr. Roy Rector, Mr. John Lamar, Mr. Norman Kozlowski, Mrs. Marissa Quinn, Mr. Michael Zornick, Mr. George Allen, Mr. Tom Byrne, Mr. Jack Childs, and Mr. Kevin Leary, visiting grade 3 today. Visiting grade 4, Mr. Robert Weiser, Mr. Joe Turelli, Mr. Michael Spitznagel, Mr. Robert DePorto, visiting grade 4. And in grade 5, Dr. Lester Wortelli and Mr. James McHugh, visiting grade 5. These are our veterans. So we give them a big round of applause. Veterans Day is an important day that gets celebrated each year on the 11th day, the 11th month. Today, however, because we recognize that there are so many activities that go on to honor our veterans across the country and across our community, we wanted to make sure that we got to jump on the celebration. So that's why we wanted to make sure we honored you all today. And we appreciate this time, which is a time to honor all of our members of the military who served their country with honor and with valor. We remember those who were with us. We also remember those who have lost their life in battle. Each member of the military provides our community with that opportunity, that safe place to grow and mature. And so we have one last piece to do to show our appreciation. We have a very special musical performance that we're going to share with you this morning in your honor. And I would ask Mrs. Freddie and her first grade class to please take their places for their musical selection. Wow, that was pretty impressive. We might have to take them on the road to Yama. We'll see. So, as we draw our program to the end, I want to again sincerely thank everyone for taking the time out of your busy lives and your worlds and your schedules to join us. I also, before we go, could not conclude this without some very special thank yous, or as we call them at Lower Gwynedd, some very special shout outs. So, I know she's hiding, but I'm going to do it again. Could we give a big, big, big round of applause to Mrs. O'Brien for organizing? I think she tries to outdo herself, and what she doesn't know is we're going to do this for a while, so she might want to slow down a little bit, because we're going to do this for a while. Along with Mrs. O'Brien, this would not be possible without the support of all of our staff and all of our teachers here. So can we give a big round of applause to all of our teachers at Lower Gwynedd? Next, I want to thank, I can't find them, I think they're hiding, but I want to thank members of our Home School Association. I know that Mrs. Frattantaro was here. I see Mrs. Carter hiding on the wall. She thinks I don't notice. But we need to say thank you for helping out this morning, providing refreshments for our guests, so we need to give a round of applause to our school. Next, this whole setup doesn't come together very easily or quickly without some very special people. So I saw Mr. McQuaid hiding out. There he is. Thank you, Mr. McQuaid, and Mr. Ryan for hiding out, and Mr. Jackson who helped us this morning with setup, and Marquise for social action. I want to say thank you. Our musical selections would not exist without the talents of Mrs. Yama. So thank you, Mrs. Yama. We had fifth graders who acted as our honor guard and our guides and just were wonderful ambassadors to Lower Gwynedd for our veterans. And for that, I need to thank Mrs. Lauren Steinberg for organizing all of that. I'm going to put someone on the spot, and you may not be happy with me, but I hope you'll forgive me because it is important that we recognize this kind of program and these kinds of facilities are not possible without the support of our superintendent. And so I would like to personally thank Dr. Chris Bill for joining us today. And finally, I feel like I've said it over and over and over again, but I feel like it's not enough. And so to all of you, again, it means so much to me to have you here to show our boys and girls what it means to be a role model, what it means to be a patriot, what it means to be a hero at home or abroad. It's spectacular, and so I am choked up and grateful. Thank you so much for coming out today. And so, my friends, that brings our Veterans Day celebration 2015 to a close.